안녕하세요, Cloud입니다. Hey guys, Cloud here. Welcome back to another lesson recap. Today we're going to learn how to make superlative sentences like I'm the best or I'm the coolest. We'll also learn how to compare things like Apple is better than Samsung or Samsung is worse than Apple. Just true statements, you know. Anyways, today's lesson is very easy and you can apply it immediately to your sentences until you get used to it. Alright, let's get into it. This lesson is divided into three parts. 더. 더 means more and can be used to compare things. For example, 이 방은 더 좁아요. This room is smaller. I was watching a Korean streamer and she was playing, what was she playing? Hollow Knight. She kept failing the boss battle and was debating if she should just go explore a different area or fight it again. So she asked her chat and they said, 한 번 더. You can see how 더 here means more. Alright, let's look at two more examples. 조금 더 먹고 싶어. I want to eat a bit more. For the next example, imagine a teenager taking a test and not doing well. His parents or his teacher criticize him and ask him what he'll do to improve. So he says, 더 공부할 거예요. I'll study more. Now, let's look at using 더 with adjectives. 더 열심히 공부할 거예요. I'll study hard. Maybe I have an exam coming up or something, so I say this. But now what if I wanted to say that I'll study harder? Well, in Korean, you would actually say I'll study more hard. So 저는 더 열심히 공부할 거예요. Here's one more example. 저는 밥을 더 건강하게 먹을 거예요. I'll eat healthier. Now let's check out another usage of 더. Let's say I'm hosting a party and all my friends are coming and it's a great party. One of my friends comes up to me and says, hey man, sick party. There's a lot of people. Is this everyone? I can reply, 사람 두 명이 더 올 거예요. Meaning we can use 더 here to mean an additional amount. Here's another example. 이것은 밑으로 하나 더 있어. 오늘 계획 더 있어요? Do you have more plans for today? Okay, we also previously learned that 좋다 means to be good, and you can use it with 더 as well. For example, 그 자세가 더 좋아요. Now, for this example, imagine being asked whether you like coffee or tea more. Your response would be 차 더 좋아요, which is the correct response, by the way. Don't at me. One more common word used with 더 is 많다. I'll give one example before we move on to actually comparing two things. In a Twitch stream I was watching, you're going to hear me talking about Twitch a lot. A streamer was deciding which game to play. So he ran a poll. And at the end of the poll, he said this. 이번이 더 많아. Alright, let's move on to part 2. Comparing things. 보다 can be used to make specific comparisons with adjectives. Let's look at how it's used. 오늘은 어제보다 더 더워. Now, when I first learned this usage of 보다, I had problems knowing which word to attach 보다 to when speaking, and when I was reading, I wasn't sure what was being compared to what. So let me explain. Today is hotter than yesterday. If I tried to translate this into Korean, I wouldn't know whether to add 보다 to 어제 or 오늘. And if I saw this sentence that you see right now, I wouldn't know if it's saying today was hotter or yesterday was hotter. The way I learned to distinguish them was by looking at the word that has 보다 and attaching in comparison to it. So in this case, 오늘은 today, 어제보다 in comparison to yesterday, 더 더워 is hotter. Basically today is hotter than yesterday. This may not seem very intuitive or even necessary, but just from my personal experience, this is what I did that worked for me, but it might not work for you. Let's look at one more sentence. 저는 옛날보다 돈이 더 많아요. We haven't learned the word 많다 yet, but it's used in this lesson and is very commonly used. It's a very common word that's used with 보다 since it means better. So a lot of times you'd want to say this is better than that or something along those lines. So here's one such example. 라면이 밥보다 더 나아요. One more very common word you'll see with 보다 is 생각. 생각, like to think. So you can make a sentence like more than I thought. For example, 생각보다 위험해요. It's more dangerous than I thought. Note that 더 isn't used here because most of the time it can be inferred. So a lot of the sentences that we made in this part could just be done without 더, but it never hurts to add 더 either. All right, we spent a lot of time talking about something is more than something else, but how do we say something is less than something else? Well, we use 덜. So in this example, 한국에서 대학교는 고등학교보다 덜 어려워요. In Korea, university is not as hard as high school. But this sentence is correct, but it's just more natural to do the opposite sentence. Oh, there we go. In Korea, high school is harder than university. Of course, there are situations where you would want to use 덜. Imagine a scenario where you go to a haunted house on Halloween and you have a friend who is just faint of heart. Before you enter the haunted house, the attendant asks you guys which room you'd like to go into, and your friend says, 제일 덜 무서워요, the least scary one. Now the attendant proceeds to send you guys to the scariest room, which this brings up the next part, which is 가장 and 제일, the Korean superlatives. We learned how to say something is more than something else, or less than something else, but now let's say how to say something is the most or the least. We just saw that in the previous example with the haunted house, but let's look at more examples. 가족은 가장 중요해요. Family is most important. And 저의 여자친구는 미국에서 가장 예쁜 여자예요. 제일 can be used interchangeably with 가장 as well. There's actually a lot more to 제일 and 가장, and we're actually going to learn that in the next lesson. Alright, that's it for this lesson. Be sure to check out the other practice videos that go along with this lesson. Links for all of these will be in the description below, as usual.